now. So hi everybody, welcome to the Account Management Facebook Live session. I'm Alan Greensmith, I'm Head of Sales here at EKM.
I'm Mark Gilbertson, I'm the Senior Account Manager here at EKM.
So for today's session, the first session that the Account Managers have done, we're going to cover a number of areas to give you a greater insight as to our account management teams and the process. And then for the final 20 minutes or so, weather depending, hopefully, Luke Flomo, who's our head of Klarna partner channels, will be joining us to discuss payment gateways and anything Klarna. So just initially, to give you an overview of the changes that have been made over the past year, our sales team process used to be pretty traditional. We'd have an inbound sales team, of which Mark was one of the founding members, more or less. He's been here for quite a long time. I think you were waiting at the door when EKM was
I think
started.
I was here when it started.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Very experienced member of the team. And yeah, we had an inbound team, the phone rang, and that was it. We'd answer the questions of the potential customer and try and sign them up. And once they were signed up, the only support they really had was our support team, our customer support team, and there was nothing else apart from that. And we had an outbound team, and the outbound guys would contact a number of different customers on more of a cold calling basis to try and reach out to them to sell our EKM product. I'm not sure if you got involved with the outbound cold calling.
Yeah, I started on cold calling.
Oh, right.
Yeah, started doing that and then moved on to other things. So, the more inbound sort of thing after a while. Yeah,
after a while we realised, well, recently in the last sort of year, we realised that we needed to provide a lot more support to our customer base. It was okay signing people up for our product, but with it being quite an intricate product, people need a lot of help with it. So of course we created the account management process, and we're going to talk through all the elements of that throughout the next sort of 40 minutes. And if you've got any questions, obviously fire us some questions, we'll try and answer them, but we've got quite a lot to cover, so hopefully we'll cover them. So Mark, as an account manager, tell us about your typical day.
Well, when people sign up, they're usually assigned to one of the account managers straight away, and we'll reach out to them straight away to try and contact and help them out. As part of that process of helping the customer, we'll help them decide on a theme that'll best suit their business. We'll go through, make sure the colours are all right, that sort of stuff. We'll help advise on different features for the shop that'll help them make the most out of the system. We'll even help create logos if necessary and banners. We'll help add categories and products to the shop. If you've got a spreadsheet of your products, that's even better. We'll be able to take all that information and bulk upload it to the shop, save you a lot of time, be able to get up and running a lot quicker. And then we'll go on to things like linking up your domain name, setting your delivery, linking to your payment gateway, and generally just getting your shop up and running so you can start selling as quick as possible.
So the process has changed quite considerably since we started, and obviously it's not a cheap process. It's something that we've invested heavily in over the past year, and we've seen dramatic changes in the in the way that our customers are trading and are able to build their EKM shops. I mean, one of the most important things is making sure that your shop looks good. So Mark, what sort of advice would you give to creating a really aesthetically pleasing shop?
The first thing, just pick a theme that you love, that you like. So all the themes are fully customisable, from the colours to the images that you add. Also, your account manager can make minor tweaks to a theme as well, so we can really make the theme for you and really customise it so it stands out and be unique from any other theme on the system.
Do you have a favourite theme?
I'm liking the new themes at the moment. They really got like good like clear and crisp sort of feel.
Yeah,
so like Taylor's a really good one at the moment.
We've had some really good feedback for them, and again, we're committed to bringing out as many themes as we possibly can. Really, it's not that we can churn out thousands of them at a time. They do take a lot of work and effort from our design guys. So as soon as they come out, we try and advise our customers as well to update the theme as much as possible. So what sort of areas do e-commerce shop owners struggle with? What areas do they struggle with?
It's mainly marketing the websites. That's what a lot of shop owners struggle with. And I'll tend to make sure that you know how to use your Google AdWords. Facebook ads is really good for marketing your website. So we'll spend a lot of time with that with a lot of customers. And it's the key to making a successful business is successfully marketing your website. And we'll try and tailor your marketing towards your industry, your specific goals, really.
Another thing that we introduced quite a while ago now was doing over the phone screen sharing with our customers. It's okay trying to speak to people on the phone and trying to get across how people should use their shops, but it was difficult to show people exactly what we were doing, and so we introduced a screen sharing option. So the guys would log in to a shop or the customer's shop, and then they could guide them through it, but the customer could actually see what was happening at the same time. So not only telling people what to do, but also training them and coaching them as we went along. And it's having that aesthetic so that you can actually see what's happening.
Yeah, it's easier to pick up if you can see what you're doing, or see someone else showing you there and then in your screen.
Yeah, exactly. And it helps our sales process as well, because if somebody just phones up and asks a few questions, and we can, we're obviously passionate about what we do, and we can tell them, how great we are. But if you're going to buy a car, you're not going to exactly, buy it over the phone. You need to see it. You need to, need to touch it.
You need to believe in it.
Yeah, you can smell it if you want. It's up to you. But you need to, see it in action and see it work. And that's what I'm especially keen for my guys to do is to ensure that they're showing customers, every single customer, what the EKM shop can do and its potential.
Yeah, definitely. And the more you know about the system, the easier it is for you to make a successful website and a successful e-commerce business. Yeah, absolutely.
So with the screen share, over a 6-month period, depending on the technical ability of the customer, anyone could have anywhere between one session, 30-minute session, or anywhere up to 15 really. We're keen to not spend too much time on each call with someone, because there's quite a lot of intricate complexities involved with the EKM.
It's easy to digest if you break it up.
Yeah, exactly. So, and also it's not generally an ad hoc thing, so we don't generally answer calls, 20 calls from the same person every day. We like to book in sessions around about half an hour to an hour with individuals on an ongoing basis. So you can have anywhere between 5, 10 or even 15 sessions with one of the account managers, and they're always there to help. Quick emails or a quick call, yeah, we'll do that, but we find that the 30-minute sessions, we get the most out of them.
Well, there's also support as well. Support's available every day, Monday to Friday, 8 till 6 p.m. So if you can't contact your account manager straight away, you can contact us support, and they're just as good, and they can help you with everything on the system as well.
Absolutely. So I think if you're familiar with EKM, you'll know now that the EKM shop is a pretty powerful, feature-rich platform. But Mark probably know better than most which features are more prevalent or more beneficial to those of you within your first 6 months. So what's your top tips on the features, Mark?
Well, my top features I'd say is the abandoned cart emails. It's a really good tool to claw back those potential customers who are that close to site or buying through the website. Also, make sure your website's mobile friendly, so our m-commerce theme is perfect for that. It ticks all the Google boxes, so you'll get picked up in Google with that. And the recently reviewed products is a really quick way to just keep a record of what people are looking at through the shop. So you're never losing an opportunity then. Those are my top 3 features.
Really good, excellent. We've got someone on, I think it's Instagram. Saved me a shed load of time with his spreadsheet knowledge. I'm sure that's one of your customers, Mark. Does that ring?
Oh yeah, that's James. No, you can't actually download the screen share at the moment, but I'm sure it's something we could look into.
Yeah. Any more questions? Then absolutely fire them over. Any more tips with the EKM shop and within the first 6 months that you tell your customers?
Well, just work on it. Spend time on it. Invest time in your website. You can't do a half a job with building a website. You do need to invest yourself fully into the website. And if you want to make it successful, you definitely get stuck in and market your website and tell everyone about your website as well.
Definitely. You're pretty good with the Google side of things. Can you talk us through how somebody would set up a Google AdWords campaign or something similar?
Yeah, well, we can do screen share with that, so I can show you directly on your screen. But the key to Google is it's sort of like cost versus like how much you make off it. So you'll invest more money into your Google AdWords, the more money you'll make out of it. So with your keywords, we'll install Google Analytics and Google Tracking, so we can track your conversions from whatever ads that we create, and we'll also look at what ads are failing. So we'll see what stuff's getting lots of clicks but no sales. And we're quite ruthless. You'll just cut that off, and then you'll spend more money on the stuff that actually works. And don't be afraid to invest money into your marketing. It's something that every business is doing at the moment, and it's something that every business should really be doing at the moment.
Definitely. We spent a lot of time with over in Google as a company. Different people have been going over there for different sessions and seminars and learning an awful lot about the company over there, and there's a lot of great stuff that's coming out of it. One massive thing, and something that we've mentioned on a lot of these videos that we've previously done. I know Anthony, the owner of the business and the CEO, is very keen to ensure that we're all doing a lot of these Facebook Live videos, and they prove really beneficial to ourselves. So absolutely, if you can set up one yourself and engage with your customer base, it's a great way to speak to your customers, but also to generate more business and repeat business and your brand as well. That's also key. Any of your customers done any Facebook Live stuff?
Not yet, no. We talked about using Instagram a lot. So like if you got a new product that you're trying to get out there, try and give it to someone for free who's got lots of followers on their Instagram, and get to do pictures with it and tell their followers where they got the item from. And that's really cheap and an effective way to get lots of traffic to your website.
Definitely. I think the social media side of thing is very important within the first 6 months, because with like Mark and the other account managers, they're only with the initial customers for that first 6 month period. So our challenge really is to ensure that our customers are set up for success, because our success is mainly based upon our customers' success.
Make you all fully equipped with all the skills and knowledge you need to take your business to the next level.
Yeah, that's it. And after the 6 months, it's entirely up to the customer where they want to go. But we have extra packages that you can go up to, with varying degrees of extra services. And one of the great services that we've got on our one of the established packages is our e-commerce consultant. And I think we'll be doing a session on that in the future. But if you consider it, it really is a fantastic package to get an absolute consultant to sit there, and help you, past those 6 months. You do get the support of our customer support team. They're absolutely excellent. But if you want to take it to that next level, as Mark mentioned, I'd seriously consider that. So another question from James. I think James is one of your accounts then, is he? Someone that you manage?
Yeah, he's one of mine.
Are keywords still as relevant, especially with the increase in Google ads and Facebook ads?
Well, yes, any advertising or marketing is relevant. Some people kind of don't like Google ads. They feel like they spend a lot of money on it, but if you're spending a lot of money on Google ads, you're not doing it right, basically. The money you spend has got to convert into sales. So if you're losing money, you stop doing what you're doing and try something else. Facebook advertising is great, and it's massive at the moment, so everyone should be doing Facebook ads.
Okay.
Also, with Google, you should be doing Google shopping as well. It's very similar to Google ads, but it's a more direct way to get your products to customers.
Okay, and another topic we've got is domain names. Something that we've recently wrote a blog on, and the reasons for adding additional domain names to your shop. This is something that constantly crops up, I guess, with your customers. And should they have one? Should they have multiple domain names? And the positives and for having them. Really, I think one thing for me is, and it was on that blog that we said, is if you're starting your business off right from the outset, that's fine. You might only need one domain name, but if you're looking to expand, maybe globally, one of the directions you may move. You should, be branching out into international markets and so forth. So you might want to have .au or different sort of country domain names for the countries maybe that you're trading in. Also misspellings as well. Funny enough, it happens more often than not. I suppose you've
people will type in and they'll misspell your domain to try and get to your website. It's also good to protect your business by buying up multiple domains with .com, .co.uk, .org, .net, just to stop any copycats trying to piggyback off your success. So it's advisable to do that.
Definitely, and protection of brand as well. That's one of the most important things. Again, depending on how big you want you want to grow your business, I'd assume that everybody, the answer to that is everyone's ambitious and they want the business to grow as large as possible. So yeah, so your online identity, it's essential that you protect that really. So securing as many domain names or a variety of domain names will obviously boost your brand's presence and prevent others from obviously hijacking your presence. I'd imagine the likes of Nike and Adidas and people like that have just got a team who just constantly go out and buy up all of the domain names. We had one of the comments on the blog from a new customer really, and he said he's got 27 domain names. So he really understands the essence of protecting your brand, especially as you go through the years of having a business. It's important that none of your competitors get their mucky paws on any of your domain names. Okie doke. So is there any more questions? I
think we're okay at the moment for questions.
Yeah, just looking on Facebook. I'm not sure if we've got it on there, so we'll have a look at that. So yeah, so what in your eyes has changed over the last sort of 12 months from account management process?
The whole way that we sell EKM, it's not. Before it was more of a sales process where you're convincing the person to sign up, but now it's more like you're convincing the person they're doing the right thing for their business. Yeah, it's more like you're focusing on them, and there's no point somebody using the system who won't work for them. So we're more focused on that call when we first get that initial call when we're talking to that new person. Make sure we've got all the tools and features that are going to make their business successful.
What type of businesses are coming through most at the minute through the sales channels?
Oh well, we had a big burst of like e-cigarette vape businesses for a while because that was like a big thing. That still is quite a big thing. Get a lot of sex toy websites. They get quite a few of them through.
They're your favourite to work on.
Oh yeah, they're the best. Yeah. So and lots of people like to set up their own little gifts, like chic websites, that sort of stuff. So people sell anything, really.
Definitely. And I think that our largest sort of channel now for sales leads, if you want to call it that, is live chat. It's the phones barely ring for us. 5-6 years ago when I started with EKM and we went down the more traditional sort of sales routes, the phone would ring and it'd be somebody that was interested in our product. But nowadays when the phone rings, it's somebody that wants support. We generally have to put them through to the support channel. So our biggest source of leads is live chat.
People you also get for free with an EKM shop.
Exactly, yeah, you get EKM live chat for free. So yeah, the chat will go. We've got around about 10 account managers within our office here in Darwin, shortly to move over to our Preston office. And all the guys are trained on answering as many questions as possible and helping the customers out. But ultimately, it's about getting people on the phone for us and doing that screen share and that demonstration to make sure that we can show our customers exactly what EKM can do for them. But more importantly, there's that kind of 80-20 rule with what we do, and I suppose it's similar for all of our competitors as well. There's probably around about 20% of our customer base that contact us that we might not be able to help certain features or anything like that we don't have, but we're constantly trying to be aware of these features that the customers want and they desire, and try and make sure that our development team are working on them as best as they possibly can do. But like I said, with the live chat and the over the screen share, it really helps us demonstrate to the customer that EKM's for them. Okay.
Perfect. So,
any more questions? Not sure if we've got that many. Or I could be looking at the wrong place, to be perfectly honest.
I don't think there's any questions at the moment.
So yeah, so we're moving to our new office shortly. Like I said, you've been here for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen this place change throughout the years. Gone from a small office of 20 people, I think. So I think there's about 20 of us when we first started, and then now there's over 100 plus.
Generally with EKM, there's a low churn rate of people. So everyone's...
Yeah, we're all lifers.
Yeah, everyone's been here for quite a while. A lot of experience within the actual team. But yeah, it's going to be a big change for us moving over to the Preston office. Personally, myself, I'm from Liverpool, so I drive quite a distance to get here, and it's the same for a lot of other people, really. you know, we've got people in Liverpool and Blackpool and places like that, Morecambe, that are coming to EKM. And not a lot of people have actually, you know, decided to leave because we're moving to a different office. It's quite refreshing to see so many people within a business who are committed to a company, and hopefully that sort of shows through what we do. I know that it does with my team personally. I'm extremely proud when you get comments and feedback from the likes of Trustpilot and Review Centre and stuff like that, and also from our CAO. I know he sends out a lot of emails to customers direct and personally to find out feedback on how the guys are doing, and there's nothing better, you know, than getting feedback from.
Yeah, our Trustpilot's doing really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you can see just how successful this account management's been by just looking at our Trustpilot reviews.
Yeah. Okay, so Lorna Wainwright, thank you for your question. So what would you say are your USPs over the likes of Shopify?
Well, UK based for a start. Can speak to us here. Also, we don't charge a percentage per transaction. Our startup package also includes all the features. Like with Shopify, all the features, add-ons or extras that you have to pay extra for, and also Shopify charges a percentage per transaction.
Yeah, I think if you know the average business and you're setting up with a competitor like Shopify, it's very important from the outset that you receive as much support as possible. And I suppose that's what this Facebook Live session is about, really, is to demonstrate to you and explain to you a bit more about the account management process. We won't do absolutely everything for you, you know, because for the price point of $24.99, it's hard to give you one person to spend on you know your shop and to help you build it absolutely completely. And one thing maybe for the future is that we start looking at doing that.
At the moment, it's about enabling you to be able to do it yourself. So we'll show you how to add your products, how to design your theme, we'll even show you how to make banners and logos by using the resources that are available on the internet to everyone. So as long as you're willing to put the effort in, you save yourself loads of money by just building a website with EKM.
Yeah, and I think we're quite forward thinking that when we realised that the old traditional sales team wasn't working for us, we decided to go down the account management route. And again, the account management route for us, it's not generally there's not really a similar account management route for any other business. You know, I don't know anyone that would manage a certain amount of shops and help build those shops right from the inception of that shop all the way through to, say, getting your first order, because that's the most important thing. Hopefully, you know, we have 10 people who sat downstairs in the account management team, and each one of them are given a set amount of shops, and like I said, their success is mainly on how many of those shops at that 6-month period are still active with us. So, you know, we're not paying them commission based upon how many people we can throw into EKM. It's absolutely not about that. It's the onus is fundamentally based upon how many shops we can keep alive, and by doing that, we need people to get orders. So yeah, there's a message there from Darren Willman. Hi guys, Mark, my account manager, is great. Would have been lost without his support. So again, that's the kind of feedback that.
It's great feedback.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
thrive
Aaron.
upon that. We absolutely love it. You know, we could sit here all day and talk about how great we are, but you know, when it's come straight from the customers,
it makes it worthwhile.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah,
But I think James has got a question. He wants to know, what would you say is the most cost-effective amount of money to spend on AdWords? So, well, it's not a value. It's what you get in return. So if you spend £100 and you get £10 back, is that a good return? So that's how you've got to sort of weigh it up. Usually, I explain to my customers to have a look at how much profit you make from an item you sell, and then that's how much money you want to put back into your marketing. So if you sell something for £100 and you get £10 back, that £10 profit, take that £10 and put it into your AdWords and see what happens. And then if you sell another item, that's another £10 you can put into AdWords. And if you look at it that way, you're going to end up with quite a large AdWords budget without actually losing any money. You're going to make money. You're going to be making lots of money. In fact, that's all I'll say on that.
No, it's good advice, and I know you work quite extensively with a lot of your customers within that first 6 months. For some people, it's quite daunting to consider Google Ads and stuff like that. But it's, you know, with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of research on, ironically, Google or any other search engine that you prefer, It generally isn't that difficult. I would suggest, speaking to your account manager as soon as possible. They're all trained. They all have qualifications in digital sales within Google that they've done recently. Something else that we like to do is make sure that the guys are supported in all aspects of our EKM shop owners' lives. So yeah, it's give it a go. And like I said, if you need any assistance with it, don't be afraid to give us a call, and we'll try and help out. So yeah, any other tips, Mark? Anything else that we can think of?
We have a refer a friend scheme working at the moment, where if you refer someone over to EKM, you'll get basically £30 free 1 month's rental. Also, if you pay up front for a year, we're offering 2 months for free. So quite a good incentive if you like the system. You have to pay it for a year and get 2 months for free. There's lots of really useful resources online to help you with creating banners and images. If you just do a quick search in Google, I'm sure you'll find loads of free software to use to make your own banners.
Yeah, I think just on that point of refer a friend, it's a bit of a strange one really, because the industry that we're in, I'm not sure how many other friends that you'd know that might benefit from an EKM shop. So it's kind of more a refer a friend, kind of refer a colleague that that sells products online. It's a bit difficult. It's more so difficult than the likes of Dropbox, who might, everyone could use it. So it's a bit more specific than that. So yeah, but if you really do have somebody that sells any form of products online, or a service that you can pick up and put in a shopping basket, then let them know. We'll do all the legwork for you. We'll give them a call and we'll talk them through it. Again, going back to that screen sharing side of things, we'll do that with the customer. And again, if it's not something for them, we're not someone that's going to badge them into it. It's just we genuinely want to try and help our customers to build successful shops. And also, you get £30 off your next bill as well, so it can't be bad at all. Another tip as well is if you want to pay yearly for your subscription with EKM, then you could pay up front for 12 months and receive 2 months for free on that. So that's another tip just for saving money with ourselves. But yeah, one thing you mentioned before about banners and stuff like that, we use a really good software program or a website called canva.com.
Yeah.
Can you go into that in a bit more detail?
Canva's it's quite getting really popular at the moment. It's a free to sign up to browser-based image creation software. You can make banners for like Facebook, Twitter, and you can also make custom banners for your shop as well. It's all drag and drop. You can upload your own images, and there's loads of free assets on that website as well to help you just achieve some really amazing looking images. And that's another thing that your account manager will be able to show you how to use. So we're not scared to use other systems, other tools to help you make your website successful. If it's a good system, we'll incorporate it and we'll use it.
Is there any other sort of software programs that you use to sort of build people's shops with?
If you want to go more advanced, you could use something called GIMP. It's a free software that you can download online, just like Photoshop. And that's more for the advanced user, but that's also something we can show you how to use, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Fancy Dress Bash on Instagram has asked, one of my suppliers has ceased trading. I have lots of their products on my website. Is there an easy way to remove just those items, like a spreadsheet or something similar?
Yeah, you can. Like if you give us a call, we'll show you how to do it, but it's basically you export all your products from the shop in the back office onto a spreadsheet, and if you've got a quick reference for the supplier, you can just make a mark next to them and set them all to be deleted. Or you could even set them to hidden if you want to revisit those products maybe in the future. We'll show you how to do it when you give us a call.
Jolly good, jolly good. Okie doke. So anything else that we can cover?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered everything.
Any more questions, guys? Matthew Booth says the sound is a little quiet, although it might just be me. I'm not sure if anybody else is experiencing any difficulties with the sound. I generally wouldn't know how to turn it up even further. Yeah, maybe turn the volume up a little bit. That might help. Or we could talk louder, I suppose, but that might be a bit strange. So yeah. Just going back to the Shopify question with the competitors. I think we do actually have a page that we have up that kind of demonstrates the differences between ourselves and Shopify. Obviously, Mark mentioned before that we are UK based, maybe a few years ago when we were trying to grow and make ourselves seem a lot bigger than we were, right from the early days. We would sort of hide ourselves away, but now you can see that we're trying to put ourselves out there and be a much more sort of personable company with showing our experience through our staff members on stuff like Facebook Live and our blog posts and stuff like that. But just a few things that typically the likes of Shopify would charge you for is, the standard package, which is more or less the equivalent to the one that you get on our startup, is around about $79. Obviously, you'd be paying in dollars, not in pounds. You pay for your themes as an extra. Domain names, I don't think you get one of them free when you sign up.
I'm not sure. No.
Yeah, there's the transaction fees. Again, live chat, it's free with ourselves, as is web statistics, and a number of other features. Image editors, image zooms, variant images. So the list of all these extras is goes on and on and on, and really it can be
push your bill up.
Yeah, exactly. And before you know it, you're paying $200, $300, pounds, whatever it is per month for the equivalent of what you get with EKM plus everything else that you get with ourselves. So you just got to ask yourself, really, is it worth it for that extra money? And probably the answer is no. So obviously I'm going to be biased. Matthew Booth, do you have plugins to share products on social media?
Yep, we've got a social plugins tool which you can install through features, and it'll allow you to put all your like and share and all your social networking items onto your product page or even your home page.
Very good. So I don't think we've got any questions on there at the minute. Is there any other areas in the settings section of the shop that you'd work with more so with people in the initial 6 months?
It's usually the import-export system is what we work with a lot, and that'll help you build your shop really quickly and reorganise your categories and just manage your shop and get all your content on there as quick as possible.
What about the feature sort of side of things? Because I know you mentioned like 3 before. Is there any others that people find useful or beneficial?
Well, there's obviously discount management. It's always good to run discounts on your website. It always encourages those extra few sales. There's also the web statistics, which you can use to monitor the sort of traffic coming through to your website, see what sort of keywords, what pages people landing on. So you can really see how successful your marketing is by using a pinpoint our web statistics tool.
And one question that we generally ask a lot of our staff members when we're doing kind of blogs and stuff like that is, what does the future hold for e-commerce and our industry? Have you got any ideas on what it's going to look like in, say, a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years' time?
Could be anything. Could be all VR web pages that you put a headset on and you become part of the web page, maybe. Actually, James has just mentioned, he's asking about responsive themes instead of switching to m-commerce. Responsive themes look really nice, but they're code heavy. So the reason we've chosen the m-commerce theme is that when you switch to m-commerce, your mobile actually loads less code than it would load in the desktop theme that has all the responsiveness. So it's better to be m-commerce if you want a wider audience to see your website than to be responsive. But you can make EKM responsive if necessary, but we advise m-commerce overall.
Thank you, Mark. So a question from Matthew Booth. For SEO, does the platform automatically update the sitemaps, or is this a manual process?
No, it updates automatically. There's a script that runs that does that for you. You may not see it instantly when you add a category product. It's just not feasible really, but the system will update your sitemap periodically.
Okay. And just going back to sort of the social side of things, is there any one social channel that you advise the customers to use more so than the other, or is it try everything?
It really depends on your business. If you're clothing, Instagram definitely. Pinterest has come in quite a lot now. However, I would always recommend Facebook marketing. Facebook is it's not heavily used at the moment for marketing. A lot of companies are missing it, so you'll get a lot more for your money that you spend on Facebook marketing. Definitely.
Good advice. Good advice. What about the Facebook shopping side of things? Do people find that beneficial, useful?
To be honest, it's not really. I personally don't think it's needed, a Facebook shop, because when you make a Facebook page for your website, you've got the big shop now or go to my website button, which essentially would go to a Facebook shop or to your website. So it doesn't really matter. You just have it go straight to your website, and then you can obviously you have more control of your website if it's It's a website that you manage in the Facebook shop.
Excellent. I think for us, something that we might be looking at in the future, and something that when people are leaving us for whatever reason, and we're keen to get feedback from absolutely everybody who decides to leave EKM. We do everything we can to keep people with us, but just sometimes people just generally don't have the time to spend to build a web store or an online shop. So something that we're gaining feedback on is how much actual work can we take off people's hands to help people to build a shop. So hopefully in the future, all the guys would have to do is probably have a drop shipper somewhere over in China or wherever it is, and manage the financial side of things, and we could possibly do everything else for them. Again, I don't know what limits or what level we could go to, but again, we're just doing research into that in the minute. Mainly because people, like I say, don't really have the time to do a lot of the intricate building of the shop. So we want to try and develop something maybe that we can take off the hands, and so they can just look after the sort of business side of things.
Yeah, e-commerce AI.
Yeah, that's it. Again, how much is that going to cost? Obviously, you're not going to get that from a $24.99 package, because if those of you guys who are doing research or have done your research on EKM, you'll know you get an absolute a heck of amount of features and products for such a small amount of money. So for us to continue to offer these exceptional services, we're going to have to try and find out exactly what the price point for that is. But the feedback we've had so far is that people are keen for us to look into that side of things. Darren Wilman again, how do you get more people interacting on Facebook and then onto the shop?
Well, that's Facebook advertising basically, and when you do post on Facebook you can promote it. If it's more of a viral post, it's better because it's something that people actually will talk on, not like a salesy post like buy. It's a bit something that's going to be engaging with your audience, and that'll bring people to your Facebook page, and then from your Facebook page they can click the shop button at the top. Or if you've posted products onto your Facebook page, people just go straight through to your website from that as well.
I don't think I've ever bought anything on Facebook. Have you?
No, not really. No, I haven't. Someone's asking about SEO and PPC services. We don't currently offer them, but we do offer advice. So we will advise you on best practices and stuff that you should be looking into and what you should be doing on all your SEO marketing. Not pay-per-click even.
Okay, so I'm not sure if there's any more questions on this sort of side of things. One thing we're keen to do is to speak to our special guest who's sat in the corner over here. So, I'd just like to thank Mark for his assistance today. He really is a big help, not only in this session, but to the team. And as I said, he's one of our most senior account managers, and just judging by the feedback we're getting today and again on Trustpilot and stuff like that, he's an extremely valuable member of the team. So thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you.
It's gone red now. So, and what I'd like to do now is introduce you to Luke Flomo. It's been over a year now since we started working with Klarna, and there's going to be a bit of a switch over.
See you guys.
See you there. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
Hey guys,
This is Luke from Klarna.
how are you all doing? Well, I hope.
So just give us a bit more of an insight into our fantastic Klarna proposition. I've got some questions for you, Luke.
Yes. Far away.
Let's see. Okay, so who are Klarna? It's probably the best question to ask.
Very good question. And before I do that, I would like to just basically say thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts on Klarna, payments in general. We've been working, as Alan said, with EKM for about a year and a half now. Things are going really well. We've got over 650 joint clients now, and EKM's platform and the support they give their customers and the way they interact with their merchants and retailers really adds a huge amount of value to our joint proposition. So thanks for having me here, first and foremost. It's a good question. So who is Klarna? Essentially, Klarna is a payment solution. We've been around for just over 11 years, and what we really focus on is helping retailers to grow their business. And the backbone of that is providing the ability for retailers to offer a really slick consumer journey throughout their checkout experience. And what we found is that if you look at empirical evidence, we found that roughly 67% of people on a desktop and 88% of people on a mobile will actually drop out and abandon cart. So what we're trying to do at Klarna is support retailers in optimizing that consumer journey and that conversion of customers through their checkout, to make sure that, you know, just as you would do in a store, in an offline environment where you might walk into Marks and Spencer's, for example, and buy your lunch, or you walk into Topshop and you want to buy some new clothes, you'd obviously be able to have the ability to touch that good, feel it, make sure you're comfortable with it, and you'd go to the store's till section, and then you'd pay for the good. You know, very low cart abandonment, in the sense that people don't really move away from their till once they, you know, really grasp those goods and are happy to purchase them. That doesn't really happen so much in the online environment. You have a lot of people abandoning carts due to, you know, forced registration processes, too many steps in the checkout process, latency in a mobile environment where they're walking down the street and they lose connection. So what we try to do is make that process as slick as possible by removing as much friction as possible, which enables you as retailers to optimize that conversion and drive sales revenue, essentially. So yeah, like I say, we've been doing that for over 11 years. We currently work with some pretty big retailers. We work with the likes of Arcadia in the UK, Misguided, ASOS, Marks and Spencer, one I mentioned earlier, Superdry, just to name a few. And obviously we're, like I say, working really close with EKM, and we're keen to work with a number of other retailers and continue to help optimise that sales revenue opportunity.
It's really good. Yeah, we've been, as I said, dealing with Klarna for over a year now, and we've had a lot of positivity from our customers. One question from Denise Peach in regards to that is, when are payments through Klarna going to take less than 2 weeks to process?
Good question. So in terms of settlement, we've actually made some pretty good jumps. So I think, you know, our original EKM proposition was to provide a settlement of around 11 days on average, and we've actually recently, just on the 6th of February, reduced that to just 3 days. So now, if you're, for example, is it Denise, did you say? Denise, if you're happy to have a dialogue over your settlement process, we'll be happy to reduce that to just 3 days, which is in line with, you know, most of our competitors, the likes of WorldPay, SagePay, and such forth. We fully understand that cash is king, and getting that cash flow back into your bank account so that you can reinvest in your business is really important. So we've made that jump, and hopefully all you good retailers out there can start to benefit from it.
I think the payment process takes a little bit longer because of the risk factor, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously we offer the ability for consumers to not only pay by card, PayPal, debit card, Amazon Pay, but we also offer the ability for consumers to have the option of paying after they've received their goods. So essentially what we're doing is separating the buy-in and the pay-in for consumers. So a bit like that analogy I was using earlier when you're in Topshop, you know, consumers, especially in the fashion space, love to have the ability to, you know, try that good on, make sure it fits, make sure it's comfortable before they actually pay for their goods. And Klarna, we offer pay after delivery as a solution, which is giving that consumer 14 days to pay for that good once they've received it. Now, obviously, that increases the risk to taking that transaction, because essentially we're offering that consumer a line of some form of credit, because we don't ask for the funds until they've received the goods. And the great thing for the retailer is that we pay the monies straight away. So although, to Denise's point, our previous settlement terms were elongated due to that risk factor, we've reduced those now. So retailers will get paid in 3 days. We may not receive the funds from the consumer till maybe the 10th day, 13th day. So we're enabling your consumers to increase their buying potential. We're also giving them really good convenience in terms of when they want to make payment for that good. All of those factors obviously drive conversion and sales revenue and profitability to your business.
And bringing something out like that, a feature like that, you don't just want to copy PayPal or Sage or whoever. You've got to create and be innovative with features like this, especially in such a market. And leading on to the next question, obviously there's a number of payment gateways, a number of digital wallets and so forth that our EKM customers could choose from. So what really do you think makes Klarna stand out from them?
Yeah, good question. So, I mean, what differentiates Klarna? I think I've touched upon it already in a certain aspect. So, firstly, we offer pay after delivery as a payment method. So, pay after delivery as a payment method increases average order values by around 15%. So, like I say, we're increasing that consumer buying power, which then allows them to spend more on your site. On top of that, we actually create a really slick checkout solution. So if you look at most traditional payments companies, they really just focus on taking the payment at the end of a checkout. What we do is we actually optimize that whole experience and that consumer journey from the point of that they, as a customer, they press buy or checkout. What we do is we then try to alleviate as much friction throughout that journey as possible. So like I touched upon earlier, we don't force registration for consumers. If they want to register, then they can do so, and we don't force that. We have guest checkout. We also pre-populate all their billing and shipping information if we've seen them before. So if they've been to any one of our 65,000 stores globally, we have the ability to identify them as an individual, either via their email address and their postcode, or alternatively using what we call device fingerprinting, meaning that consumer can go to one site that they may never have shopped with before that are using Klarna checkout and have their billing information pre-populated, their shipping information pre-populated. We also tokenize the card across our network. So rather than storing a card with each retailer, we store it across our whole network. And that just reduces as much friction as possible, allowing that consumer to have one-click checkout, just as they do with PayPal and Amazon, but without the need of having to remember usernames or passwords, which is a really key factor. I think I read a study the other day, and someone believes that we're going to have over 100 passwords each by 2020.
I think I'm already there.
and trying to remember all those passwords and those usernames for each retailer is nigh on impossible.
Yeah.
So all that happens is you end up forgetting my password and then probably dropping out and abandoning cart.
Yeah. So one of the things is with some of the payment gateways that I've used is it's not an easy process to sign up.
Yeah.
So how easy is it to sign up with Klarna?
So as a retailer?
Yes.
Yeah, as a retailer, I mean, one thing that we've worked really hard on with EKM, and EKM have done a great job of helping us and supporting our retailers in making that onboarding process really slick, is to just create, again, a bit like our checkout experience, as little amount of friction as possible. So essentially, a retailer, all they need to do is sign up with EKM, create a store, then send those store details to Klarna alongside their bank details and such forth. We'll then create a Klarna account. We'll obviously do our risk analysis and onboard you as a merchant. We'll provide you with our Klarna ID, and then once you've got your Klarna ID, you can pretty much start trading. And like I say, what we've done is we've worked with EKM to improve our pricing, so we've got much better pricing tiers across the three thresholds you have, and the offerings you have to your retailers. And we've also brought down that settlement period to 3 days to enable, like I say, yourselves as retailers to get those funds into your bank account as quickly as possible.
Which is huge considering you're still taking that initial risk.
Yeah, and the good thing is we take risk not only for the pay after delivery option, we also take all of the risk for your credit cards transactions. So if you've got a high fraud problem right now, whereby you're getting lots of chargebacks, we can help alleviate that concern and that problem, and essentially just allow you as a retailer to focus on what you do great, which is servicing your customers and your consumers with great products and a really great website.
So good fees, easy to set up, but one of the most important things obviously for our customers is what is the checkout process like for the end user, so for their customer?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, the end user gets a really slick consumer journey. So to give you an idea, we're 1,600 employees strong, and that continues to grow exponentially. And we have over 300 products and developers working on optimizing that consumer journey. We do regular surveys to our consumers because we're consumer facing, a bit like PayPal, and unlike some traditional payments companies like WorldPay and SagePay who don't interact with the consumer. Really all they do is take a credit card number and put it through the banks and then settle those funds into your bank account. We actually are really conscious of not only the merchant and the retailer and how they are obviously helping to improve their services, but also what is the end customer journey? How satisfied are they with that payment solution that we've given them? So we do regular surveys, and I think the last survey stipulated that we had 95% satisfied customers from a consumer perspective, and that's mainly because, like I say, we provide a really slick consumer journey. We provide the ability for all of that information to be pre-populated. And if you can imagine in a mobile environment where 51% of e-commerce is done on a mobile now, and that's only going to continue to grow as a percentage, people don't really want to be inputting lots of characters while they're checking out, their billing information, their 16-digit PAN number, expiry date, CV2 number, 3D secure. All of that process is just leading to cart abandonment, and hence why we see huge uplifts in conversion. On average, we uplift conversion by 27% across our portfolio. So yeah, that's what the user journey looks like.
I mean, the next question was about the 14-day pay after delivery, because that is genuinely something that's extremely unique within the payment sort of industry. Again, that's groundbreaking, but what else is to come from Klarna in the future?
Yes, I mean, we're constantly looking to revolutionise payments and disrupt the marketplace and provide the ability for you as retailers to stay ahead of your competition. So there's a number of things that I'd love to be able to talk about in great detail, some of which we have to keep under wraps for obvious reasons. But we're looking at things like buy buttons in social media, so things like Facebook and Instagram, being able to literally press a button when you see someone wearing that dress that you would really like to purchase. I know that I know that you like to dress up at weekends.
You know me. Anything goes.
So yeah, I mean, we're constantly trying to evolve as an organisation, and I mean, just to touch back on the pay after delivery and why it's such a good function. The real strapline, and it's maybe a little bit cheesy, but we want people to be able to buy it, love it, and then pay for it, essentially. So a lot of our developments will be around how do we make that journey for a consumer easier. Maybe it's easier for people to do refunds on an app rather than having to complete lots of documentation when they return their goods back to the retailer. Yeah. Maybe it's great for a retailer to be able to receive that confirmation of a refund before they actually get the goods back into their warehouse, so they know it's coming and they can start to utilise that data. So yeah, essentially we're constantly evolving and watch this space for the next developments, I guess is
definitely. I mean, again, since we've started working together, there's been an awful lot of new things that have come to our EKM customers that they can benefit from, and hopefully within the next 6 months to a year there's going to be even more. So I think that's all the questions I've really got for Luke at the minute. I don't think there's any more that's coming through currently. So yeah, just looking at some more comments. Thanks guys, great advice. Thanks lads, enjoying the tips. So just glad to be of some use. That's the most important thing, I think, from these videos. And like I said, we've got a lot more to come with all the different departments, I think, within the business. And actually from probably this weekend or the following weekend, we'll be moving into our new offices in Preston. So if you've been following our CEO, Anthony, you'll have seen him using the slide and stuff like that. So it's going to be an absolute fantastic workplace for all of our staff to work. And I know, hopefully you've felt the passion that Luke and myself have about our companies, and that's something that we are extremely proud of, really, especially when we're forging partnerships with the likes of Klarna and these companies. So yeah, if you need any further information on what we've discussed today, use our website, use the EKM blog. If you are someone that is keen to sign up for EKM or just has any further questions, feel free to give us a call, or like I said before, go onto our live chat and one of our experts will be able to answer any questions for you. If you want to do a screen share with them, absolutely, they're available between 9 and 5:30. We also have a night chat function from around about 7 till 11. So if you've got any questions, if you're already with EKM and you just need some help or any further advice, even if you're within the first 6 months or beyond, absolutely give us a call, because every single person within EKM is here to help you out and ensure that your business is a success. Like I said before, we're not happy or we don't get bonuses or whatever it is unless our customers are continuing to be active. So we need to make sure that everybody's business is a success. So yeah, so any further questions or anything like that, then we'll definitely answer them. But thanks a lot for tuning in and listening to us for an hour. It has flown by, even though at some points we've got to sort of try and think of some more questions. So, it's a quiet time at the minute, but been some really good questions asked, and I hope we've covered them extensively. But yeah, thank you very much, Luke.
Thank you for your time, Alan. And Denise, get in contact and we'll happily reduce those settlement terms for you. Keep you happy. Excellent. And anybody else, obviously, feel free to go to EKM, Klarna Payments, and there's a lot more information about our solution, how we can support you as a retailer to continue to grow, and look forward to working closely with you all.
Excellent. All that's left for me to do is reach over to the camera and press finish. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.